Welcome back to the Happiness Hub. I am your host, Marianne Rouse, your gratitude consultant, here to guide you on your journey to financial freedom and time freedom. Today we are tackling a mindset trap that sneaks upon even the most successful people. Comparison. It is that little voice that whispers, "Why am I not as far along as them?" Or, "Why does their life look so effortless while I'm struggling?" Sound familiar? If you have ever felt like you are behind or someone else's success makes you question your own, then this episode is for you. Because here's the truth. Comparison steals joy, energy, and progress. But there is an antidote, and it is called gratitude. So let's shift that mindset today. We are diving into real life examples, scientific research, and simple steps that you can take to break free from comparison and attract more abundance. There is a famous quote that says, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And I'll add that it also steals momentum. Think about it. When you are caught up in comparing your life, your business, or success to someone else's, what happens? You start focusing on what you don't have instead of what you do. You lose sight of your own progress. You might even start doubting your abilities or taking less action because you feel like you will never measure up. But here's the kicker. Most of the time, we are comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reels. When someone is posting their polished social media content, their posts, their big wins, their overnight success, you don't get to see the years of struggle, failures, and lessons that led to that moment. And that can create a false sense of lack. So how do we shift our mindset? With gratitude. Gratitude flips the focus. It rewires our brain to notice what is already working instead of what is missing. And when we focus on abundance, we attract more of it. Let's talk about two well-known people who had every reason to fall into the comparison trap, but instead use gratitude to propel them forward. Before Steven Spielberg became one of the most successful filmmakers of all times, he faced multiple rejections. He applied to the University of Southern California's film school, not once, not twice, but thrice, 3 times. And he got rejected 3 times. Now imagine, if he had let comparison get the best of him, he could have looked at his classmates who did get accepted and thought, maybe I'm not good enough. He could have let those rejections define him, but instead he focused on what he did have, his passion, his creativity, and his willingness to keep going. Spielberg started making his own short films and finding ways to learn outside of the traditional path. He eventually got an internship at Universal Studios where he kept showing up, kept learning, and kept creating. Fast forward to today, he's directed some of the most iconic films in history, including Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park, and Schindler's List. His story teaches us a powerful lesson. Instead of focusing on what's not working or who's ahead, focus on gratitude for the opportunities in front of you. Rejection isn't failure, it is redirection. Now let's take a look at another individual that you may know. Before Vera Wang became a well-renowned fashion designer, she had her heart set on being an Olympic figure skater. She trained for years, competed at the national level, and dreamed of representing the US on the biggest stage. But when she didn't make the Olympic team, she had a choice: get stuck in comparison or find a new path. She could have looked at the skaters who did make it and let that define her, but instead she chose gratitude for the discipline that skating had given her, for the lessons she had learned, and for the creative spark she had discovered along the way. That mindset shift led her to the fashion world, where she carved out a space for herself as a designer. Today, Vera Wang is synonymous with elegance and success, proving that sometimes the best opportunities come when we stop comparing and start appreciating where we are. Now, if you love a good study like I do, let's get nerdy. Let's talk science. Dr. Robert Emmons, a psychology professor at UC Davis, is one of the leading researchers on gratitude. In one study, he divided participants into 3 groups. One group wrote down things they were grateful for each week. Another group wrote about their daily struggles. And the third group just wrote about neutral life events. The results? The gratitude group reported significantly higher levels of happiness, lower stress, better physical health, and even more motivation to take action in their lives. Why? Because gratitude rewires the brain. It strengthens neural pathways that focus on what's working instead of what's lacking. And when we make gratitude a habit, we naturally move away from comparison and into confidence. So what can you do when comparison starts creeping in? Here are 3 simple yet powerful practices. Gratitude journaling. Start your day by writing down 3 things you are grateful for. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude swap. That's another one. The next time that you catch yourself comparing, flip the script. Instead of thinking, why don't I have what they have? Try, I'm grateful for what I do have and the path I am on. And then let's look at gratitude shout-outs. Celebrate others instead of comparing. When you see someone else succeeding, send them a message of encouragement. Gratitude for others' successes invites more success into your own life. If there's one thing that I want you to walk away with today is this. Gratitude is the antidote to comparison. When we focus on the blessings, you stop worrying about someone else's anything else. So if today's episode spoke to you, I would love for you to do 2 things. 1, subscribe so you don't miss another episode. And then 2, share this episode with someone who could use a little more gratitude and a little less comparison into their life. So let's spread this abundance mindset together. So until next time, a hui ho, toodle pip, aloha.